Hello everyone, welcome back to Lucky Crit. So, in case you missed it, this week, in light of recent world events, Nintendo of America sent out a tweet to let everyone know that the Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp remake would once again be delayed. After the game's first delay from winter 2021, it was set to launch a mere month from now, on April 8th. While the first delay was helpful, as it was noted that the game needed more fine-tuning, at this point, a month out, I'm sure the game has long since been completed, and now we'll have to await a future undeclared release date. Man, the Advance Wars series just has the absolute worst luck and a terrible history when it comes to release dates and problems surrounding them. If you didn't know, the original Advance Wars game actually released in America before Japan and other regions. Interestingly enough, with a launch date of September 10th, 2001, this being a single day before the September 11th terror attack. Due to this event, the game ended up being delayed from releasing in Japan, even though it was still released in Australia and Europe throughout the next year. Even though strategy RPG games were thought to be more popular in Japan at the time, Japan never got Advance Wars 1 and 2 released individually, and only later got them as part of an Advance Wars 1 and 2 bundle that released in 2004, 3 whole years later. Because of this, the Advance Wars series has always been more popular in the West than it has in Japan, a trajectory that, when compared to Fire Emblem, seems kind of like a tragedy. So, now 20 plus years later, it's incredibly ironic as history has just repeated itself, where once again the Advance Wars 1 and 2 bundled remake has been delayed due to world events. Though Advance Wars isn't inherently offensive in any way, it does paint a rather cartoony caricature of war, which could have been perceived of as in bad taste to have released right now, so it seems that Nintendo wants to be respectful in light of these recent events. However, as pointed out by Twitter user @RadicalMGF, there are some more specific details about Advance Wars 1 that coincidentally seem a little too on the nose and relevant to the current situation. For example, the Blue Moon Army is heavily based upon Russian forces, and serve as the game's primary antagonist at least early on. And the game's story also opens up with them invading neighboring territories. So perhaps further details like this also factored into their decision. If the Russia-Ukraine conflict continues throughout the rest of this year though, I wonder how long Nintendo will push off releasing this game. Will they eventually drop it even if the conflict is still occurring? Will they wait until it's out of the news cycle before committing to a release date? We'll have to wait and see. I really hope that this game eventually gets its fair shake. While this newer version will never come close to the original, for me at least, I really think this series deserves a revival and a fair chance of being successful and played by people around the world. I really hope it's not just fated by these events to always remain more niche and die off once again. If this game does well, I would hope that we could expect to see future Advance Wars games down the line, maybe even akin to another Days of Ruin game like a lot of fans seem to want as well. Though personally I enjoy the more cartoony style, one could hope anyway. While this is a bummer, the truth is that there are other solid RPGs on their way, or those that have already recently released, like Triangle Strategy, which I unfortunately haven't spoken of too much yet on the channel. I did originally wonder why Nintendo and Intelligent Systems chose the release date that they did, as it had the potential to either come out with a whimper, or cannibalize the sales of other strategy RPGs like Triangle Strategy, or even be completely overshadowed by the upcoming release of Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. While 3 Hopes is a hack-and-slash action RPG and doesn't feature Fire Emblem's typical strategy RPG gameplay, I would assume that Fire Emblem fans will be looking to pick up the game, so having numerous strategy RPG fanbase targeting games release all around the same period of time this year was a strange call. And perhaps this could give people some more breathing room to save up for when Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp eventually does decide to launch. However, if they wait too long to release it, it may be in conflict all over again with a yet unannounced upcoming Fire Emblem main series game that we could see starting later this year or next. Let me know your thoughts on this situation in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you're thinking. How do you feel about this situation? Are you bummed? Are you relieved that your wallet might be able to catch a break now? As always, if you like the content that I produce and you want to see more of it, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on the latest Fire Emblem and Advance Wars news. If you found this video helpful, please slash the thumbs up as well. Of course, I also want to thank the patrons for supporting the channel and helping make videos like this possible. And you can also now become a channel member by clicking down below and getting some cool exclusive emotes. I'll be streaming more in the near future, so stay tuned for that as well. And if you use alternative platforms like BitChute, Odyssey, or Rumble, be sure to follow Lucky Crit over there, as I'll be producing some exclusive content for those sites eventually that you will not find on YouTube. And you can also even follow our Instagram account if you'd like. And of course, as always, I'll see you all next time.